welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I eat in a day to achieve weight loss, fat burn, and then also my high protein, low carb diet or nutrition journey that I'm doing. You know, I'm not just going to share the boring old what I eat in a day. I'm going to share tons of information. You're going to have a lot of that coming your way. Just kind of walking through my typical day and also what I'm doing to achieve certain results following my nutrition journey. So if you guys are ready to make a change, also make sure you guys stick around. Full disclosure before we proceed, I am not an expert, I am not a nutritionist, I am not a fitness trainer. I'm just a person who got tired of being overweight and not eating healthy and just tried to make a change for myself, my own health, my own body. Before you guys do anything, you know, follow diets, follow exercise routines, you guys know what to do. Make sure you guys talk to your doctor. Make sure you guys are comfortable with what you're doing for yourself. Talk to a nutritionist, get a coach if you need. You know, I'm here to share what my journey has been like. So let's jump right into it. I feel like I have not been in good shape in a really long time. And at my heaviest point, I was 163 pounds. And although you guys only see me from here up, I definitely had some problem areas in my midsection. Everything goes to my midsection. About 6 months ago, I started my healthy fitness journey. Started to work out. I started to eat better. I have lost about 23 pounds and a lot of inches off my torso. The workouts I'm still doing at home by myself. I kind of lead myself, you know, using a Beachbody program. You know, even though I changed up my diet, I changed how I was eating, watching my portions, I hit a plateau. I was not really eating what I was supposed to be eating for my body. I did take the opportunity to start a nutrition program online. I will actually link the information down below. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid by them or anything like that. So now that I'm working with Sherman, who is my coach with the Lab Next Level, he set me up on my numbers, being my macros. So if you guys are not familiar with what macros are, which I was totally unfamiliar with what they were, basically just eating the right percentage of protein, fats, carbohydrates, and then also, you know, your certain caloric intake. My calories were set at 1100 calories per day, and my macros are 40% protein, 35% fat, and 25% carbs. Keep in mind that everything you eat pretty much has carbs. You just have to know the right amount of carbs that you're allowed to eat per day. So coming into it, I thought this was really strict, and I had no idea how the heck I was even gonna be able to do this. And it's definitely something that I was looking into before. I just didn't know where to start. Now that I'm into it about 4 weeks, it's actually not that bad. This is gonna be an 8-week thing where I'm not allowed certain things like the sugary drinks, no fruit whatsoever, even though I had stocked up on fruit before I had started. Once those weeks are done, then we're gonna start introducing some of those carbs that we're missing before. Our goal for this first phase was to burn fat and to lose inches, and within the first 3 weeks I lost, I think, like 2 inches and lost like 6 pounds or something like that, which was really awesome because I had plateaued. MyFitnessPal is what I'm using right now to keep track of all the foods that I'm eating, and that is linked to Next Level University, which is the app that I'm using for my nutrition program. Everything that goes into my fitness goes into the nutrition program app, and my coach can see what I'm eating, what I should be eating, what I shouldn't be eating, and he kind of works with my numbers there, but it also works with the numbers that I have on my nutrition program app. It already knows how many calories I should be eating, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat. So it calculates everything for me, and it makes it easier. It's complicated. It takes a little getting used to, but it makes it easier to, you know, follow your routine and follow what you're supposed to be eating. Once I got my Fitbit, which I've been using this for over a year now, I think. Actually, I don't remember how long I've been using it for, but I love this thing. It's one of the least expensive fitness watches. So this keeps track of my steps. It keeps track of, you know, the calories that I'm burning throughout the day. Anytime I exercise, I can set it to whatever it is that I'm doing, and then it transfers all the information into my app where I can just easily go in there and look. Huge huge picture of like the calories that you're burning, what type of exercises you're doing for what type of results that you're looking for. So I've been all over the place, and you know, I'm definitely trying to fix and adapt to certain things that are going to work for me personally. Just in case you guys are wondering, you know, how sustainable this is, I don't think that it's something that's for the long run. I think it helps you keep on track, and then also when you're making those changes, your body is detoxing, you're cleaning it of all the crap or junk that you've been eating or that I've been eating and drinking. It makes your body get used to the stuff you should be eating, and then you notice right away when you eat something that your body hasn't like eaten in a while, like your body definitely reacts to it. And when your body reacts in a negative way, like obviously that stuff is probably not so good for you if you eat it in excess. And you know, that's usually what I would do. I eat 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. I feel like I eat so much during those times that I don't typically get hungry for a snack. When I do though, I make sure to add something in there that's gonna be healthy also. For breakfast, I usually eat within an hour or two after I wake up. Lunch, I try to do around 1 and 2, and then dinner, I try to eat around 6 or 7, which it's 6:20 right now. I'm almost gonna have to cut this out to go make my dinner. One thing that I learned doing this is that keeping it simple makes it super easy, but also boring. I don't want to get bored of the stuff that I eat, so I have to like kick it up a notch and like change things around. So it gets a little bit more time consuming doing it my way, but I feel like I enjoy it a lot more. I have more to choose from when it comes to eating. So for breakfast, the very first thing that I do is my morning coffee. I just do 10 ounces every day. This is something that I love. I cannot go without my coffee. I do indulge a little bit more and do 2 tablespoons of creamer, and I just do my regular fatty creamer because it does fit within my macros. And also I've tried like the Natural Bliss and the other stuff, and it is disgusting. I have to enjoy my coffee, otherwise it's not. You know what? That starts my morning. So breakfast is pretty simple. I'm not much of a breakfast person. I haven't always been much of a breakfast person, so this was definitely an adjustment for me, trying to make myself eat breakfast. So on a typical morning, the breakfast that I eat definitely has eggs, which is a good source of protein, and also has some fat in there. This one I am going to be doing 1 regular egg and then a serving of egg whites. And you know, the egg whites obviously don't have the yolk, so it's not as fatty. It keeps me in line with my fats because I don't want to overdo it. We're going to be doing some mushrooms and spinach and some beans, like beans galore. I get to choose from lentils, garbanzo beans, red beans, kidney beans, black beans, black-eyed peas, pinto beans. The only thing with beans is that they're high in carbs, and so I definitely have to watch my portion in that. But the beans are good, a good source of fiber. Once that's out of the way, I get my water. So I do drink water throughout the day for the rest of the day. I try to drink at least half of my body weight in ounces. So any other flavored drink that I do is either my pre-workout, my fiber, or my Pure Boost, which is just like something to help me get some energy in case I'm crashing. The only times I do pre-workout currently are on cardio days. So I do cardio 3 times a day, and then I do weight training 5 times a day. So 3 of those days I do 2 workouts, so my weight training and my cardio. And the days that I do cardio, I do take my pre-workout just because I need a little extra kick. So my husband just got this Woke AF pre-workout, and it kicks in about 10 minutes for me. I know it's kicking in when my face and my limbs and my fingertips start tingling. It feels super strange, but it definitely works, and it gives me a lot of energy to complete my workout. If you guys can see, my face is like super broken out. The fiber that I've been taking has actually helped a lot with the more cystic acne that I've been getting. But yeah, I'm still trying to like clear my skin, you guys. The fiber's working, but anyway, I go onto my Beachbody account. I am doing Focus T25, and today's workout is Speed 2.0.
Your focus starts now. Out to a 2-turn. Left, center, right.
So on days like today where I did the cardio that you saw and then lift 4, that's definitely when I do pre-workout. But on days that I only do lift, remember I do weight training 5 to 6 times a week. So on the other days that I don't do the cardio, I just go at it. Really, it's one of my favorite things to do currently. I'm really enjoying weight training. And so just towards the end, like the midday, I guess maybe around 3 or so, I do tend to crash. And that's when I do my energy drink, which is the Pure Boost. So on the days that I don't do cardio and don't take my pre-workout, my Pure Boost for clean energy is what I use, and this was recommended by my nutrition coach, which it gives me that clean energy, you know, in case I do crash or I feel tired. For lunch, like today, I'm gonna show you guys, I did something very simple. I just did like grilled chicken and greens and beans. So for it being simple, you guys are going to see that there's a lot of steps. So I love using my air fryer, and I'm going to air fry my crinkle cut carrots. I always check the labels, the carbs right there. I already know what to look for. And just so I'm super accurate when I'm inputting my numbers into my Fitness Pal, I weigh my stuff. I know this is crazy. Like, I used to think this was nuts. Like, who would ever take the time to do this? But when you're on a healthy journey and you're wanting to see results, this is exactly what you have to do. Like, you have to be really consistent and disciplined. So taking my carrots, I did about 3 ounces on there, and using this olive oil spray, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it on there. And you notice there's no carbs, there's no fat, there's nothing in that spray. The only thing that I saw, it had like a propellant or something like that. I gotta look more into what that actually is. So just putting it in my air fryer for about 8 minutes. Midway, I do kind of shake it up a little bit. You can do less or more. And just so we're clear, these don't get super crispy or anything like that, but they do get a little bit more flavor when you air fry them. And then I'm going to do a salad, simple salad, and some of these chicken breast chunks that I bought at Walmart. You got to be careful with these pre-packaged things because they do tend to be a little bit higher in sodium. I do keep track of my sodium as well, and I try not to go over it. So I'm usually good on my numbers, but the chicken is really high in protein, and that's the part that I have the most difficult time, is just making sure that I get all my protein in for the day. Again, I did weigh it just to make sure I have my exact numbers. Beans, you guys, beans. I'm looking at the back, high in calorie, high in carbs. So I bought this cute little measuring thing, and it measures, this is like half a cup, and then it also measures teaspoons. So I do not want to go over my carbs. So here I am, you know, measuring it out and it makes it really, really easy. So yeah, I'm just going to get my lunch ready, and I do use a lot of hot sauce and lime juice. Hot sauce is totally okay. And you know, that's what gives me my flavor. So what you eat is not like super bland or anything like that. When I sit down to eat my lunch, this is when I usually go in and input all of my numbers. I try to have stuff that is already saved in there, but sometimes I do have to go in there and like scan new foods that I'm using, like these carrots, or you know. But more than likely, I can go in there and just add multi items that are already saved in there. While I'm at it, I can also go in there and input the ounces of water that I've drank throughout the day. I do typically drink about 32 ounces of water during my lunch and when I'm sitting down. And just so you guys know, one of the biggest things that I've learned doing this is that if I'm full, I'm full. I'm not going to force myself. Sometimes I may not hit my numbers because of this, but dude, I eat so much. So this is a typical lunch. Since I can't eat bread and I can't eat tortillas, and I have been playing around with my Dash Mini, which is a little waffle maker, and I'm actually going to buy the little pancake maker also. So I did make some chickpea waffles, which serve as like a bun for a burger or bread for a sandwich. And then I use the same recipe to make some chickpea tortillas. That way I can eat tacos, and then I also actually put them in the toaster to make tostadas. So I mentioned I do eat 3 meals a day, and then if I feel hungry in between, I do snack. I don't tend to snack very often. But when I do snack, I choose stuff like edamame. Edamame is really high in protein, but you also have to watch those carbs because it does have carbs in there. And so you just have to kind of mind your portion. And then also I'll do like cucumber with hot sauce and lime. If you've never had cucumber with hot sauce and lime, oh my god, let me tell you, you have to try it. Or I'll do like a hard-boiled egg. On days where I know that I'm going to be very low on my protein intake, I usually do like a protein shake. I just put like a cup of ice or less and then a cup of water, put my protein in there and just blend it up in my NutriBullet, and that's it. And this protein that I'm using, my husband bought it. I wasn't too much into protein shakes until I started doing this, and it makes me feel a little bit fuller and it keeps me satisfied until I get to eat my next meal. It is high in calories, so it's also good when I know I'm going to be low on both calories and protein because it has a really good kick of the protein in there. For dinner, I try to be a little more creative because it's my favorite time of the day, or my favorite meal, I guess. So I do try to get a little more wild. So for this day's dinner, I did my version of jalapeno poppers. And so I took 2 giant jalapeno peppers. These are fresh. I just cut off the stem and took the seeds out. If you notice, I did leave the little piece at the end, and that's just to keep my cheese in there. And I'm not going to be using cream cheese, which I wish I could, but I can't eat it. So I'm going to be using cottage cheese, and I've actually already made these before and they're super delicious. So I just went ahead and stuffed them. And then instead of bacon, regular bacon, I'm using turkey bacon, which this has 0 carbs. It does have the same amount of fat as it does protein, and I do sometimes tend to be low on fat, so I also use like olive oil and stuff. Anyway, I went ahead and put these into my air fryer, and I always preheat my air fryer before I put anything in there, just to make sure that it's nice and hot and warm and it's not going to take forever to cook what I'm cooking. And just put it in there for 8 minutes at 400 degrees. And like I mentioned, sometimes I do tend to be low on my fat intake, believe it or not. If I am, I do use regular olive oil instead of the spray. And so I had some mushrooms there, some bell peppers that I pre-cut and froze. It just makes it so much easier. And then also I had some ground turkey that I pre-packaged in the correct amount of ounces. So it's like a 4-ounce serving. And this salsa roja I made, I have the recipe in my Fitness Pal. So like all the macros are accounted for on that one. And so yeah, I just cooked everything in there, mixed it around, and it was a pretty simple dinner, but it's super full or super filling and delicious. And I do have to get my beans in there. Like I mentioned, I have to eat them 3 times a day. So I put my little portion right in there, and it just, all the flavors just kind of mix nicely. And you guys, this is it. You see that little pancake looking thing? That's my chickpea tortilla. And if you know, Mexican people love to eat their food with a nice tortilla. And this is the best that I can do. So totally enjoying it. So once that's all over with, I go back into my Fitness Pal, put all of my dinner in there, any snacks that I ate. So I do put my protein and also my fiber in there. And I go in there to make sure that I hit my macros, which I did. This was a successful day. I pretty much hit my goal. I have to be within a range of 10 under or over. And I feel like my numbers were good this day. Try not to eat dinner later than 8. Usually the latest that I'll eat dinner is around 7 o'clock. You know, depending on when I go to bed, I may or may not get hungry. I don't usually snack, and again, if I do, I just fall back on the ones that I had told you. But I also do take my fiber with about 10 ounces of water. So I have been taking this Bellway natural fiber. I usually do it at night, again, before I go to bed, or you know, around the time I'm gonna lay down and stuff. And the reason I do it at night is because throughout the day I've already been eating, I've already been, you know, getting my fiber through different sources of my food. You know, I want to make sure that I absorb it. Depending on if you're new to taking it, it can, you know, make you feel a little gassy and bloated at the moment that you take it. It definitely helps with digestion, so the next morning I don't feel bloated, I feel nice and sucked in. So you guys, that is what I eat throughout a typical day, not including my cheat day, which is Saturday, which I still have to stay within my macros. But to be honest with you, the last few times I have not. I have really enjoyed my cheat days. So I warned you guys, I told you that it wasn't just gonna be a boring old what I actually eat in a day and like show you guys what I cook and stuff. I came to you guys with a bunch of information. So now that you guys know the process, why I started, when I started, and kind of what I'm doing to stay on this track, there are certain things that you guys need to know. Eating this way can get expensive, okay? I feel like I shop once a week, but at the same time, eating like junk is expensive too. So I guess that's where you have to decide. Would you rather, you know, spend your money on crap food that's gonna make you feel icky and make you gain weight and not make you feel good about yourself, or would you rather spend money on food that's gonna make you feel good? Which every once in a while I will spend some money on some Chick-fil-A, because you know what, Chick-fil-A Fridays were a thing here for a while. So in no way do I feel like I'm depriving myself. This is a choice that I'm making that obviously not everybody should make or can make. Choice is yours. I'm just sharing my experiences. The second thing that I'm gonna point out is that you will not look at food the same way again. I promise you. Having to keep track of your macros, you have to read what's in there. You have to know like the amount of carbs, the amount of sugars, the amount of this and that, and my dog's barking in the background. I would have totally been like, whatever, look at them looking at their labels. And now I'm that person. Now that I know and understand what I'm looking for, it's easy for me to look at that package and be like, yeah, not gonna eat this. And I'm not an expert or anything like that, just what I'm learning throughout these weeks and months that I'm doing this. It's kind of crazy. You really don't look at food the same. The third thing I want to point out is that this is definitely time consuming. Thinking about the meals that you're gonna eat, trying to plan out what you're gonna eat, and then putting everything into your fitness pal, and you know, all of this stuff, like this documenting and inputting and all of that. It's time consuming, but it's worth it. So the fourth and final thing I want to mention is that doing this is definitely a sacrifice, okay? You do have to sacrifice your time, your money, which is well worth it for a healthier version of yourself. People not understanding why you're doing it, or maybe looking down on you for doing it, because you know, you should just enjoy your food and you should just not deprive yourself. I get it, but if you're making a decision or a choice for your body and your health, you know, what everybody else says or thinks doesn't really matter, because it's not their journey, it's yours. You have to be ready to bring your own meals. We've been over to our family's house. They had pizza or Chick-fil-A or cake or brownies, and I'm just over here eating my homemade food because I've been trying really, really hard to stay to it, keep the course, stay the course, and do for myself what I've never done before in my life.
Drinking courage from my red cup now. I will soon make a move. Ooh, I can taste it, the bittersweetness of taking a shot, a risk worth taking. If it's a shot of love, baby, I adore you.
I hope you guys found this video informative. Always welcome all your questions or comments or anything that you guys want to know. The nutrition program that I'm doing, I'm gonna link it down below. I do have a discount code with them also. Thank you so much for joining me. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you guys leave me a thumbs up, leave me your comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye.